63. 63 people sent to the guillotine in Paris on just one day.
Yeah, it's a number that just stops you cold, isn't it? Comes from a wood sawyer in the story.
It really does. And it instantly puts us right there, doesn't it? France, around 1792. Just this intense period of upheaval, violence.
Total turmoil. And our lens for looking at this is Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. Came out in 1859.
Right. And he was heavily leaning on Thomas Carlyle's book, The French Revolution, for the historical backdrop.
Definitely, you can feel Carlyle's energy in Dickens' writing.
So our goal here is to kind of pull out the key ideas, maybe some surprising bits from Dickens' take on this history, a bit of a shortcut to understanding it all.
And just a quick note for you listening, if you want to explore this kind of analysis further, our YouTube channel, OUR, has something called Mindful Moments.
Yes. It uses AI to look at books like this one. It's really designed to get you thinking more deeply, beyond just our chat here.
Exactly. Okay, so where should we start with Dickens' France?
Well, the thing that jumps out immediately is the atmosphere. The sheer fear.
Oh, absolutely. It's thick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dickens has like universal watchfulness. It wasn't just about public executions, though those were happening.
No, it was deeper. Like this feeling that anyone could be watching, anyone could report you.
Yeah, the idea that, addressing a letter wrongly could get you thrown in prison. Think about Charles Darnay trying to travel.
Oh, right. He keeps getting stopped, questioned, sent back over and over.
It perfectly shows that paranoia. What does that kind of intense internal spying, that suspicion, do to a society?
Yeah.
It must just grind down any trust.
Completely suffocating. And then Dickens reveals those sheep of the prisons.
Right. Spies among the prisoners.
I mean, imagine that. There's literally nowhere safe to even speak your mind, even when you're already locked up. It just highlights the government's, extreme paranoia during the terror.
It does. And Dickens cleverly contrasts this with England. England had its own issues with informers, for sure.
Yeah, like that scene with Roger Clive's funeral procession. The crowd is furious, thinking someone's a spy. So the suspicion was there, too.
But perhaps less. State-sponsored, maybe. Yeah. Less systematic than in revolutionary France. It raises questions about how any society deals with threats, real or perceived, and how easily bonds can break down.
So how did Dickens himself view the revolution? It feels complex.
Oh, very complex. You absolutely feel his pity for the people suffering under the old system, the ancient regime. The injustice is palpable.
You really do. He doesn't shy away from showing how awful things were before.
But at the same time, he's clearly revolted by the mob violence that follows. He sees the cruelty of the revolutionaries.
It's like he's saying, okay, the cause might have been just, but look what it turned into.
Exactly. It's that monstrous inconsistency, as he puts it. He sees a doctor trying to help someone wounded right in the middle of all this revolutionary violence. It's jarring.
And Dickens had seen public hangings himself, right? In England.
Yes. He attended executions. That firsthand experience definitely shaped how he wrote about the violence in France, gave it that visceral eyewitness quality. He saw the dark side of crowds.
It makes you wonder, though, what was so bad under the ancient regime that it led to such an explosion? What were the roots of it all?
Well, Dickens paints an incredibly stark picture of the social divide. You have the aristocracy, epitomized by someone like Monseigneur.
Living in that constant fancy ball that was never to leave off. Utterly oblivious.
Completely detached. Surrounded by unbelievable luxury while just outside their walls.
You have Saint-Antoine, and those descriptions are brutal. The poverty, the hunger.
The desperation. He even mentions the trade signs depicting want. The faces of the people looking old before their time. It's grim.
And that scene with the spilled wine.
Ah, yes. So powerful. A cask of wine breaks open in the street.
And the people rush to scoop it up, drink it from the mud.
It's such a potent symbol. On one level, it shows their desperate thirst and hunger. But it also feels like this dark foreshadowing of the blood that will later spill in those same streets.
It really underscores how desperate things were. The aristocracy's blindness seems almost criminal in retrospect.
It was definitely a key ingredient in the revolutionary mix. But Dickens doesn't just paint with broad strokes. He zooms in on individuals caught up in it all.
Which makes it so much more engaging, right? These personal stories.
Definitely. Take Dr. Manette, 18 years locked away in the Bastille.
Just vanished. Because of a lettre de cachet, one of those secret royal orders, no trial, nothing.
Exactly. Pure arbitrary power. And the impact on him is immense. Even after rescue, he retreats into making shoes, that repetitive action he learned in prison. It shows the deep psychological scars.
His story really embodies the cruelty of the old regime. Then there's Charles Darnay.
Yeah, Darnay. He's French aristocracy by birth, but he rejects it. He goes back to France, trying to do the right thing, to answer for his family's past.
The very family whose actions, enabled by things like the lettre de cachet, contributed to the suffering.
Right, and he gets swept up in the revolution's fury, precisely because of that family name. The past just won't let him go.
And Sydney Carton, such a fascinating character.
Oh, Carton.
Yeah.
Self-loathing, feels like his life is wasted, drinks too much.
But you sense there's something more there, this potential for sacrifice.
Absolutely. Dickens apparently identified quite strongly with Carton, partly from a role he played in the play called The Frozen Deep. You see Carton's internal conflict, especially in his talks with Vernet, who he resembles, and his cynical boss, Stryver. Themes of redemption, finding meaning.
And we can't forget the Defarges. They're right at the heart of the revolution in Saint-Antoine.
Key figures. Monsieur Defarge seems initially more compassionate, perhaps conflicted later.
But Madame Defarge, she's something else, with her constant knitting.
It's chilling, isn't it? It feels like she's knitting a list, a register of enemies, driven by this relentless desire for vengeance, seemingly linked to past wrongs, like what happened to her family, hinted at through the story of Gaspard, whose child was run down.
Her knitting becomes this symbol of cold, patient, inescapable revolutionary justice, or maybe just revenge.
These individual stories, their personal motivations, their tragedies, make the huge historical events feel human, immediate. You see how big forces shape and sometimes crush individual lives.
What's interesting, too, is how Dickens sets the scene before the revolution really kicks off. He shows trouble brewing in England as well.
Yes, that's crucial. He starts in 1775. He explicitly contrasts the scarcely an amount of order and protection in England with the situation in France.
So England wasn't exactly a paradise either. He mentions highwaymen, crime, public executions in London.
Right. It suggests instability wasn't unique to France. Both nations were facing challenges, albeit different kinds.
Even that very first scene, the Dover mail coach journey, it's dripping with suspicion.
Isn't it? The passengers are all wary of each other, huddled together but mistrustful. It captures this underlying anxiety, this lack of security, even in England, before the French chaos fully erupts.
So it sets up this idea that the two cities, London and Paris, are linked, their fates intertwined right from the start.
Precisely. It foreshadows how events in one place will ripple across the channel and impact lives in the other. It's not just two separate stories.
Looking back at the whole sweep of the book, what are the big takeaways for you? What does Dickens really leave us with?
Well, I think it's a powerful warning about power itself. Whether it's the old aristocracy abusing its privilege, or the revolutionaries turning vengeful and tyrannical. Unchecked power is dangerous, full stop.
That definitely comes through. And the complexity of revolution itself.
Yes, it's not simple. He shows how noble ideals, the fight against oppression, can get twisted and lead to new forms of brutality. It's a messy human process.
But it's not all bleak, is it?
No, not at all. Amidst all the darkness and violence, you see incredible resilience, love, loyalty, and especially self-sacrifice. Think of Carton. That human spirit endures.
It really makes the case for why reading classics like this is still so valuable. It's not just history, it's about enduring human struggles.
Absolutely. These themes are timeless, and if you want to dig deeper into this kind of thing, don't forget our podcasts for more discussions like this one.
And check out the Mindful Moments features on the Our YouTube channel for those AI-powered analyses that really make you think critically about the books.
Good reminders.
So, if you found this look at A Tale of Two Cities interesting, please do subscribe to our podcasts. You'll get more explorations of history and literature.
And share it with friends or anyone you think might appreciate the discussion.
We've also put a link in the show notes if you're interested in getting a copy of A Tale of Two Cities. Buying through the link helps support us creating more content like this.
And maybe the most important thing.
Keep thinking critically about the past, about the present, about the forces that shape our world. That's really what it's all about.